Hey, what is happening, my fearless networking friend? What's going on? So today we're going to chat a little bit about video and specifically live video. So, and how to get some better results with, in this case, specifically Facebook Live. How do you get better results with Facebook Live? I'm sure the lessons, some of the things I'm going to share with you today would apply to short form videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, whatever. But in this case, we are talking, I mean, again, I know the title is Facebook, but most certainly there's applications among other social media outlets you might be using. So let's talk about that. So first of all, so when we talk about results with a with video, like what are you looking to accomplish, right? What is your objective? Just something to think about. Like, why am I doing this live? What am I doing this live about? What are my expectations? What do I want to see happen? Am I doing this for entertainment and engagement? Am I doing this to teach some cool, I don't know, vegan cooking lesson or keto cooking lesson? Or am I doing this to demonstrate my product? Am I doing this to do a presentation and pull in people that are interested in my company or my product? So you got to think ahead of time. Like, what's your objective? Like, what do you want to accomplish? So number one, I would say, is plan ahead, right? Plan ahead. You know, think about what you're going to do. What you're going to talk about. Writing down your talking points. Making sure that you're ready, that you're prepared. Like anytime I do this, for example, I don't just wing it. I don't just go, hey, I don't even know what roll lights, camera, action. I don't even know. Let me think about what I'm going to talk about. Like, I thought about this already. I knew exactly what I was going to talk about before I, press record on the camera. So just makes sense to be a planner. So think before you press record, okay? Whatever that is. Like when we do lives or you do lives or videos, probably for, different types of reasons. Like I've done Facebook Lives in the middle of concerts. It's not to sell product or to do anything other than entertain. But I think about, even then, I don't just let it fly. I think about, even though if I'm not talking, I'm like, oh, I'm going to time it where it's in the middle of this song. I'm going to think about the framing and all of that. Number two would be choosing the right time, right? So choosing the right time. You got to do your own research for your own pages and figure out, like, when are my people most active? And you can find that stuff. That stuff is, doable and searchable to figure out when you get, the most engagement, when your audience is on, on Facebook or whatever the medium is that we're talking about. So you ideally want to do a live when you're going to get the most people on that are live, okay? So, for example, if I want to get my European audience on, and I want to really get the Europeans to see, I'm just using that as one country, I'm probably not going to do it at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time, because now it's good, probably get my US audience, but most of those people are probably sleeping. So I'll do lives at different times of the day to get different audiences, especially if you have a global audience. So that would be number two. Number three would be promote it. So if you're going to do a live on a particular subject and you want more people to show up, you can promote it, you can tease about it, you can say, hey, this Friday I'm going live at 6 p.m. I'm going to show you my, I'm going to do a full live on my homemade, eggplant parmesan recipe. Let's say you got a bunch of followers that follow you for recipes. Maybe you're an Italian cook and you got a bunch of people that are following you for that. So then, oh my gosh, I heard about Falcone's, eggplant parmesan, and he's going to go do the whole thing, and I'm going to do it on a live. Mark your okay. And what does that have to do with business? It has nothing to do with business. I mean, we do lives for lots of different purposes, right? So that would be really good, okay, to promote it ahead of time. It's like building audience and building expectation about what's to come. The next one I would say would be lighting, microphone, camera. I see people that do video all the time still. Look, granted, like now we have a lot of people. I see a lot of people doing some pretty good quality stuff on video, in terms of like framing and composition and all of that. Like, but I also see a lot of people where I'm not gonna move around right now, but I have a window over here, and the window's got like blackout shades, and it's got a curtain because it brings in this weird lighting. And then I would never have the camera here, which is facing directly at the window with the window open, because when you have all this light shining in this direction, all they can see is a shadow. So you want to think about the quality of the shot, the framing of the shot. You want to think about, is it well lit? Is there a lot of shadows? How do you look? You want to kind of you want to get ready for the shot. This is what we call composition. And I think we're in a day and age where you should be producing good quality video, regardless of how you're doing it. And like an iPhone can produce pretty amazing quality video. I'm shooting on a DSLR camera, but you don't have to do that. I'm on a wireless lavalier mic. You can get like wired lav mics that plug into your mobile phone. You can have an extra long extension wire comes up through your shirt, and it's going to give you way better audio quality for the viewer than if you're just using the microphone that's on the actual phone. It's way better quality. And over here, I'm not going to pull this over, but I don't know if you can't see it in the frame, but I've got a microphone on a boom mic, and so when I'm doing lives or I'm doing things on my computer, which is right over here, I always use that microphone because it's just way better quality than what exists from within my computer. I mean, the sound difference is night and day. Number 5, I think I'm on. Number 5, I would say, is, for the most part, in quotation marks, short and sweet. Okay, short and sweet. People have a very short attention span. Okay, so if you can knock out your points and you can do it in a short fashion, sometimes things take longer. I've done lives that are an hour long. I've done lives that are an hour and a half long. I mean, that's not normal, but if you're doing something where there's some kind of conversation going on and you're making some very elegant or long points, there's nothing wrong with long video, long lives, as long as it's interesting and keeps people's attention. I mean, I've kept people's attention on lives that I've done literally as long as an hour and a half, and had the audience there, a high percentage of the audience there from the beginning to the very end. So just something to consider. I would say general rule would be short and sweet, but if you got something really cool to say that's super interesting, then that would maybe take a little longer. But if you plan ahead as well, going back to one of the first things I said, if you plan ahead, then you're not going to be like, trying to figure out like, what am I going to say next? You just got point A, point B, point C, or whatever you're doing, and it's just going to be way easier that way, rather than, I forgot what I said. Give me a couple minutes, guys. I don't know what I'm going to say. Let me think for a second. I don't know. Okay. And then number 6 would be follow up. Okay. So if you're doing lives and your lives are designed with some type of purpose in mind for lead generation, to prospect people, to inform and educate people, all these folks that are, commenting. I mean, I'm even saying like, hey, if you're here, say hi. Love to, see who's here. And I'll recognize, hey, John from here and Susie from there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you start doing that as people are popping in. I could be midpoint and say, hey, Sandy, good to have you on here. And then I'm still on with the point. It's cool because if she hears you say that, somebody else can say, hey, this is Teddy in Alabama. This is so-and-so from here. And you're just going to get, more people that are showing up for your stuff, and they're sticking around for a longer period of time. And look, and then you got all these different comments, and because you got all these different comments, I think it's going to be good for you to get people. You have more people to follow up with. The more comments you have on your live, the more you're going to be able to come in there and comment afterwards, or private message somebody afterwards. Hey, I appreciate this. I'm happy to send you my recipe. Here it is. Or hey, if you want to download my recipe book, it's over on this website. Thanks for plugging into my live. Don't just do the live and then, it's one, if you're just doing a live for the sake of doing a live and it's just like entertainment value, fine. But if you're doing it with some kind of purpose, some intention, regarding your business, most certainly you want to be following up with those people. So just a few thoughts today on helping you to get better quality video, better Facebook Lives. I know based on all the things I said, you could probably see, oh, there's an application on Instagram, there's an application on TikTok, there's an application in recorded video. So I'm sure like there's a cross degree of usage in the different points that I shared, even though the title of this is really focused on how to do better Facebook Live. So, all right, if you are on my YouTube channel, what's up, YouTubers? I appreciate you guys. And if you're on my podcast, love you as well, hearing me on audio. The rest of the details on this episode are right here at toddfalcone.com/episode 228. Again, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 228. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.